What's going on, guys? Mike back to show off another item from the Ghostbuster collection. Thank you for joining me as always. As you can see, this is Ghostbusters movie figures. These were produced by Neca back in 2004. You can see Series 1 advertised up top. They unfortunately did only make one series of these figures. They did make other Ghostbuster merchandise, but I believe they had issues with licensing the actors' faces, so they didn't actually make any of the Ghostbusters back at that time. They did make some of the movie monsters, which were still cool. This is the packaging. This is from the back of the clamshell blaster that the figures used to come in, and you can see the advertisement on the right side for Series 1. They made a big Stay Puft figure. They made Gozer, Zuul, Vinz Clortho, and Slimer. And then they showed off the figures here. Vinz Clortho and Zuul had the same packaging. The only thing that distinguished the difference was a sticker on the front of the clamshell that either said Zuul, Terror Dog, or Vinz Clortho. So it was a cool figure. These came out back when McFarlane was kind of at their strongest point, when they were making the sports figures and the dragons and, of course, the Spawn toys. So NECA was really competing well. I mean, these figures look outstanding. Beautiful looking packaging, and more importantly, awesome looking figures. Here's sort of what the inside advertisement shows. Shows some of the Head Knocker series that they came out with. Of course, these figures here, and then instructions. Kind of how to use your toy, because these did light up and took batteries. I believe they came with batteries, but if you had to replace them, gave you little instructions to show you how to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the figures right now. I have Zuul and Vinz Clortho that I'm going to show you today, and then I will be back at some point, and I have Gozer and Slimer as well that I can show you one of these days. So here is Zuul. It is, as you can see, a very nice figure, very detailed, really cool looking, pretty big. I don't have the measurements here, but you know, here's my hand, so it takes up that entire size, so it's not a dinky figure at all. And just, they're really cool because it's something that, you know, when we were kids, you didn't have any of the movie figures. You had the figures and the toys from the real Ghostbusters, which I think is what most people, most Ghostbuster fans growing up, they probably identified even a little more with the cartoon, because that's what the toys were based on, of course. And you had just so many episodes every year, where you had one movie every, 5 years back then. And, you know, it's a shame that the movie franchise hasn't done better over the years. You had the 2016 movie that came out that everyone has different opinions on. I am not a fan whatsoever. Very disappointed in the direction they went. Would have preferred them to continue the story. You know, I don't care who they eventually had take over as the Ghostbusters, but I don't want my characters of so many years replaced. But here you can see Zuul. The tail does move. You push down on it, and the eyes light up. So that is really cool. These figures are pretty tough to come by. I don't think they produced a crazy amount of them. And, you know, I looked on eBay, and they're pretty pricey. These go for around $50 a piece. Out of package like this. And if they're in package, they go for more. They go for about double. And if they're in really good shape, I've seen some as high as $300 a piece. So I used to be someone who used to buy a ton of extras. I would open one and keep one in package, stuff like that. I didn't do that with these, unfortunately, but they're cool. So let me show you Vinz Clortho as well. They're pretty much, you know, very similar figures, if not basically the same. The mouths do open and close on them, so you can set him up, you know, give him little different poses. I think his head is dropped down a little bit more, but very nice figure. Again, as I said, the detail's really strong, very cool looking. You can see that little screw there. And again, this is another one with the moving tail feature. You can just move it down and it'll light up the eyes. So there you go. It gives it kind of that scary look from the movies. I remember as a kid growing up, you know, I was born in '82, so really when the first Ghostbusters came out, I was only 2, but I was so into the cartoon by the time I was, you know, 6 and 7 that, you know, I watched the movie as well. And yeah, these guys freaked me out a little bit. So these are very cool. Very happy to have them in the collection. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Please subscribe for more Ghostbuster content. I try and get stuff up as often as possible. Obviously, it hasn't been as much as I'd like, but I have so much to show off from my collection. My childhood collection is huge, and I plan on continuing to do that. So comment below, let me know what you think of the Terror Dog figures. I think they're pretty awesome. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a great one.